What is one thing about my family that I can reflect on today? Today, I invite you to reflect on one simple but deeply meaningful question. What is one thing about my family that I can truly appreciate today? It may seem like an ordinary question, but sometimes the most ordinary questions open the door to the deepest reflections. Family is something we often take for granted because it is always there, or at least we hope it will be. We wake up, we go about our routines, we talk about ordinary things. We sometimes disagree, we sometimes laugh, and we sometimes become so busy with our own lives that we forget to stop and recognize what our family really means to us. So today, instead of asking what your family could do better, what needs to change, or what problems still need to be solved, ask yourself something different. What is one thing about my family that I am grateful for today? Maybe it is the presence of someone you love. Maybe it is the sound of someone's voice. Maybe it is the way someone in your family makes you laugh. Maybe it is the fact that there is someone you can call when life becomes difficult. Or maybe it is simply knowing that somewhere in this world, there are people whose lives are connected to yours in a way that cannot easily be replaced. Take a moment and think about that. Who comes to mind? Don't rush. Perhaps you see the face of your spouse, your child, your parent, your brother, your sister, your grandchild, or another person you consider family. What is it about that person that you sometimes forget to appreciate? We often notice what people do wrong because mistakes are loud, but love can be quiet. Someone preparing your meal, someone asking if you have eaten, someone reminding you to be careful, someone waiting for you to come home, someone listening to your stories, even when you've told them before, someone forgiving you after an argument, someone standing beside you during a difficult season. These things may not make headlines, they may not look dramatic, but they are often the very things that make a family feel like home. And perhaps this is something worth remembering. The value of family is not always found in extraordinary moments. Sometimes it is hidden in ordinary moments that we barely notice. Think about the people in your family. How many ordinary moments have you shared with them? How many meals? How many conversations? How many birthdays? How many celebrations? How many difficult days? How many quiet evenings? How many times have you laughed together? How many times have you worried about one another? How many times has someone in your family helped you without expecting recognition? When we are young, we sometimes imagine that the important moments of life will be big and dramatic. But as we grow older, we begin to understand something different. Life is mostly made up of small moments: a conversation, a hug, a smile, a shared meal, a phone call, a simple, "How are you?" a quiet moment sitting beside someone you love. And one day, we may look back and realize that those ordinary moments were actually the extraordinary parts of our lives. That is why today is a good day to appreciate them while they are still happening. Because none of us knows how much time we have with the people we love. We don't know how many more birthdays we will celebrate together. We don't know how many more meals we will share. We don't know how many more conversations we will have. We don't know how many more mornings we will wake up knowing that someone we love is still here. This isn't meant to make us afraid. It is meant to make us awake. Awake to the value of the people who are already part of our lives. Sometimes we spend so much energy looking for happiness somewhere else that we fail to recognize the love that is already sitting beside us. We may think happiness will come when we have more money, when we have a bigger house, when we accomplish a particular goal, when our problems disappear, when everything finally goes according to plan. But perhaps one of life's greatest sources of happiness is much simpler: having someone to share life with. Family doesn't have to be perfect for it to be valuable. Every family has misunderstandings. Every family has differences. Every family has moments of disappointment. Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Sometimes people become distant. Sometimes old wounds remain. Sometimes forgiveness takes time. And sometimes loving someone doesn't mean agreeing with everything they do. But family can teach us something that few other relationships can teach us. Love is not always about perfection. Sometimes love is about choosing to care despite imperfection. Maybe your family isn't exactly the family you imagined. Maybe there are relationships that need healing. Maybe there are conversations you've been avoiding. Maybe there are things you wish had been different. If that's true, you don't have to pretend everything is perfect. Reflection isn't about denying reality. It is about seeing reality with a wiser and more compassionate heart. You can acknowledge the problems and still appreciate the good. You can recognize the mistakes and still remember the love. You can admit that someone has hurt you and still choose not to let anger consume your life. And sometimes the most meaningful reflection is not simply asking, "What did my family give me?" but also asking, "What have I given my family?" Have you been patient with them? Have you listened to them? Have you told them that you love them? Have you said thank you? Have you apologized when you were wrong? Have you been present when they needed you? Have you celebrated their victories? Have you comforted them during their difficult moments? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilty. They're meant to remind you that love is something we practice. We don't simply feel love, we express it. And sometimes, the people closest to us are the people who receive the least intentional expressions of our love. We may be polite to strangers, we may smile at coworkers, we may patiently listen to acquaintances, but when we get home, we may become impatient with the people we love most. Why? Because familiarity can make us careless. We assume they already know. We assume they'll always be there. We assume there will be another opportunity. But perhaps today is a good day to stop assuming. Perhaps today is a good day to say the words, "I appreciate you. Thank you for being there. I'm grateful you're part of my life. I love you." You don't need a special occasion. You don't need a birthday. You don't need Christmas. You don't need an anniversary. You don't need a dramatic moment. You can say it today. Because sometimes the best time to express love is simply now. So as you continue this reflection, think of one specific person in your family. Not the entire family, just one person. Picture their face. Remember something they have done for you. Maybe it happened recently. Maybe it happened many years ago. What did they do? How did it make you feel? Did they help you when you were struggling? Did they believe in you when you doubted yourself? Did they make sacrifices that you didn't fully understand at the time? Did they give you advice? Did they simply stay beside you? Now ask yourself, have I ever properly thanked this person? If the answer is yes, remember that moment. If the answer is no, perhaps today is the day. You don't need to prepare a long speech. You don't need perfect words. Sometimes a simple sentence is enough. "I just want you to know that I appreciate having you in my life." Imagine what those words could mean to someone who may also be quietly wondering whether they matter. We sometimes don't realize how powerful our appreciation can be. One sincere sentence can change someone's entire day. One phone call can remind someone that they are not forgotten. One hug can communicate something that words cannot. One moment of listening can make someone feel seen. And perhaps that is the deeper lesson of today's reflection. Don't wait for a crisis to remind you how much your family means to you. Appreciate them while life is ordinary. Love them while the days are normal. Talk to them while you still have the opportunity. Listen while you still have the chance. Forgive when forgiveness is possible. Apologize when an apology is needed. Celebrate the little things. And don't underestimate the power of simply being present. Because at the end of life, we may not remember every accomplishment. We may not remember every purchase. We may not remember every busy day, but we are likely to remember the people, the conversations, the laughter, the embraces, the moments when someone held our hand, the times we felt loved, and the times we made someone else feel loved. So today, your reflection can be very simple. Ask yourself, what is one thing about my family that I don't want to take for granted anymore? Maybe it is their presence. Maybe it is their patience. Maybe it is their sacrifices. Maybe it is their unconditional support. Maybe it is their sense of humor. Maybe it is simply the fact that you have people to share this journey called life. Whatever your answer is, hold on to it for a moment. Let yourself feel grateful. And then ask one final question. What can I do today to show my family that I appreciate them? Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Maybe you can call someone. Maybe you can send a message. Maybe you can sit down and have a conversation. Maybe you can help without being asked. Maybe you can listen instead of interrupting. Maybe you can forgive. Maybe you can say, "I'm sorry." Maybe you can say, "Thank you." Maybe you can simply put your phone down and give someone your full attention. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture, because love doesn't always need to be grand. Sometimes love is simply being there. And perhaps that's what you can carry with you today. My family is not perfect, but it is precious. The people I love are not guaranteed to be with me forever, so I will appreciate them while I can. I will not wait for a special occasion to express my love. I will notice the small things, I will be present, I will say thank you. And most importantly, I will remember that the people I love are not interruptions to my life. They are part of what makes my life meaningful. So today, look around. Look at your family with fresh eyes. Don't only see the responsibilities. Don't only see the disagreements. Don't only see the imperfections. Look for the love. Look for the sacrifices. Look for the memories. Look for the little things. And when you find one thing worth appreciating, don't keep it only inside your heart. Express it. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give our family is simply letting them know, I see you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm glad you're part of my life. That may be one of the most important things you can reflect on today.